what it is. Ladies and gentlemen across planet Earth, I am Rion, and I'm here with
Barbara.
And we're here to have some fun.
Yes.
Can't tell you how many times I've spent scrolling the feeds. There's a lot of negative boo-boo goo-goo going on. So I thought to myself, how could we have some fun and educate our family who are going to inherit this earth from these turds once they are flushed, which is in the process now. So everyone sit back, relax. This is a sneak attack. We got some new intel. Got some high-level downloads for you. So everyone just chill, you know? I'm just like you know, all night long, just, why is everything so negative on Netflix? Can I just find something? No, I've watched everything on Gaia. I am Gaia at this point. No, I don't want to see you in your backyard on camera. I need some production quality. And for all my fellow friends out there on Earth, what's up, YouTube? What it is. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss Barbara Hudak.
Thank you.
She's here. We are here to rock your world. So, Barbara, back in the day, ordered a Nubian pyramid from me. And she has had some experiences. Mind you, when I made her pyramid, her higher selves were like, yo, bro, juice that bad boy. She can take it, her druid, which showed up in the pyramid, right?
Yes.
Why'd you tell him?
Yeah, so when I got the pyramid, I could see this shape, and it was like a hood, and it felt like this Celtic druid alchemist or magician.
It's her 7 Ds, rad.
So he's in there, and he's helping me out.
Yes. So the funny thing is, when all creators across the planet, all you guys out there, when you are interacting with your higher selves and you're making things, I want to remind you of sometimes the real moments where you feel that creativity. I wish to inspire you once again. That's the time you're supposed to create, and it might not be at the exact time it's normal for that to happen. It could be 2 in the morning, midnight, 3 in the morning. It could be 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. When you guys feel inspired to create, I always recommend that finding those times and moments in your own life to take that moment to create your intent is very good practice. So Barbara, you bought a Nubian, right?
I did.
Tell them what happened.
So I could feel it pulsing as soon as it was installed. It was really kind of fun. And
Yes.
it was just amplification, and I'm sitting in there, and I got this nudge to, hey, why don't you bring essential oils into the pyramid with you?
Yes.
So I did. And then I put crystals in, and I started...
So wait, so you put essential oils inside your Nubian that's in your living room?
Inside the Nubian.
Okay.
And I kind of set them with me, and they're kind of high vibe anyway.
Yes.
And I thought, well, what will this do? And it amplified them, and I could feel there was this higher charge. And I'm like, what can I do with these?
Mm-hmm.
And so I got this idea to create essential oil blends and to activate them and amplify them even more.
Is this it?
Is
this mine?
This is one for you, yes.
Woo!
There's 7 different kinds, and they're all different blends for what you need.
So this is Sistar Code.
Alchemy.
So sistarcodealchemy.com. So wait, is that gold?
Yeah.
There's literally gold in it, in the bottom of it. That's rad. So tell me about what some of the different formulas you have created and what they're used for.
Yeah, so there's 7 different blends that go with the 7 different chakras. So different affirmations, some of them have frankincense to open up your third eye.
Yes.
Some of them are really charged with grounding, so more of the self-security right now when it's really a little chaotic in the world. It's nice to have some of that self-stabilization. There's self-love for the heart chakra, and they're all different blends based on what the chakras really need and to support them.
Okay, I know you've had some fun with the pyramid I made you.
Yes.
How many of your friends have you popped like popcorn?
There's been quite a few.
So tell them what happens. People that don't know about sleeping in a pyramid, tell them what happens when you put a high-powered energy device in your house. Go.
Well, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of amplification. Some people sit in there and they're out. They're gone. Like they just meditate and they go somewhere. And then they come back in like maybe 10, 15 minutes and say, what the heck was that? So they've gone to different dimensions. Some people just feel really healthy. Their pain goes away. It's just different for everybody. It's cool.
What have you experienced?
So I've experienced some stuff. I don't even really know what's happening half the time, but I know there's a catalyst, things are waking up, and I'm learning who I really am and what I'm really here to do. And it's in service to humanity, and I'm excited to learn more.
I like it. So it's almost like I wish we had some sort of expert to tell us in a different mathematical, physical, biological way what's happening. I wish we had a physicist here that could explain to us in our more analytical minds of specifically what happens when you go into a pyramid. Do you know anyone?
I do.
You do?
I do. And you know what? She's here.
No, she's not.
Yes, I met this woman at the Mayo Clinic many years ago, and she was a radiation biophysicist.
She's a radiation biophysicist,
right?
And you're trying to say that she ran an experiment without me knowing in one of my pyramids in Scottsdale, right?
She did.
She did.
She did.
Well, this Nancy...
You want to know?
I want to know.
Yeah, well, let's introduce Dr. Nancy Rizzo.
Nancy Rizzo, come on into our live stream. Thank you, Miss Barbara Hudak. Hello, Nancy.
Hello there. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So Nancy Rizzo
Yeah.
is beautiful as she is cunning. She asked me lots of questions today, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and have an open heart, open discussion on planet Earth. Why? I want all my friends and family to learn all of this stuff and all the hard work and dedication, you know, my brothers and sisters in Sedona and across the planet have put in creating certain devices which benefit humanity and your energy and all of the awesome stuff that you guys make out there. So I'm very blessed to have Miss Nancy Rizzo, which I did not know, test my pyramid in a group study. So Miss Rizzo, what did you find out when you did your test? Explain the whole experiment and what took place.
Well, first it was because I personally experienced such a wonderful response that I said, let's test it and let's really see what's happening.
Okay.
So we got 5 of our friends together, all of them pyramid naive, have never been in a pyramid.
Let's break it down for all the 3D peeps that are...
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give them a little bit about your background.
Okay.
Drop it like it's hot on them with your degrees. And then, you know, then we'll work it into who we are.
Well,
Go ahead.
bachelor's in medical physics, a master's in radiological therapeutic physics, and then a PhD in energy medicine and biophysics.
Beautiful.
So that's that. And practiced as a radiation oncology physicist for over 22 years. And then I came across curling photography, actually, and what its ability was to capture the energy waves that are emitted by the body and how to quantify them and to see what the body's actually
Explain
doing.
for everyone who might not have heard what Carillion photography is. What exactly is it and what does it take a photo of? Or of photos?
So we actually have the fingertips. Can be any parts of the body. We've done all kinds of things with
Yes.
this. Get your mind out of there.
Yes.
So yes, I focus personally on the fingertips. You put them on a glass plate. There is a camera underneath that glass plate. The glass plate emits a high frequency electromagnetic field, and when the finger comes in contact with that, we're actually capturing a coronal discharge. That coronal discharge is actually a snapshot of your energy field. The waves that are being emitted by the body, the waves that are being created by the mitochondrial, the little energy particles that are inside of all of your cells, except for your blood.
Can you take one, I love you, take one more time, explain the mitochondrial DNA and mitochondrial energy and why it's so important to a human body, and so that people can have a greater depth of understanding specifically what this is.
So mitochondria are required for you to live and thrive. It is in every single cell of your body, and it is what takes the wonderful air that you breathe, hopefully, the good water that you drink, the food that you eat, and it's what takes those things together and breaks it down into energy for your body to use, for you to thrive and to be vital. When your mitochondria aren't breathing, aren't using your nutrients well, then you have very low vitality. And there are typical then indications in certain organs that are not functioning optimally. It's because the mitochondria aren't being fed. Why? There are a variety of reasons. Energy flow to them, the quantum field, because that's what's actually organizing the physiology. But it's the mitochondria that are required throughout the body to support health and well-being.
Beautiful. For all my analytical family out there, I hope that was sufficient for you. Okay, now let's talk about the experiment that took place.
Cool experiment.
Could you know just a experiment?
5 people. Brought them in, and I have my own equipment that I have created, which is a electrophysiology measurement tool. We call it now Healthy Circuits, so it's the e-circuit scan, and you'll be able to see that on healthecircuits.com. Right now, you can also see it on Lucemed, LUCEMED.com. It's a way for us to measure and look at your energy fields. Do we find disease? Do we find imbalance? This is all capable now for us to look at you, and it's totally non-invasive. It takes all of 5 minutes. So back to our little research experiment. We took the 5 people, we measured them before and after. We only had them come into the house one at a time to experience Barb's pyramid. And we measured them before, did not tell them anything about the pyramid. I had them lay in a specific orientation within the pyramid. Everybody was the same. They stayed in there for 25 minutes. At the end, then we measured them right away. So then I went away and I did all of my energy calculations and looked at the data. And the data told us some very, very interesting things. So my system will measure the probability risk score for there being a disease or a process in the 5 major organ systems: cardiovascular, respiratory, GI, digestive, and then you've got the liver, hepatic system, and the renal system. And as a result, and then we also measure all organs throughout the body, so kidneys, lungs, gallbladder, all of those. There's 79 different quadrants within the body that we're able to measure. So first off is that we were able to show a significant change for the cardiovascular risk factor, which was significant because it's very hard to move that particular integer. It's done through proprietary Bayesian analytics that I have developed over the last 20 years. Secondary to that is the overall score for the renal and reproductive. We're changing the way the water is processed in the body as a result of these. So one, we increased...
So it's actually restructuring the water in the body?
It is restructuring the water. It is felt because we feel that we can go on to say these types of things. Inside of my calculations that I've created for this, we measure certain aspects of the images that are created. One of them in particular is entropy, which is a measure of energy that is happening throughout the body. We're also able to measure both an autonomic, which is meaning we're looking at the nervous system, and then we're measuring the physiology, which is the physical system inside. We were able to watch entropy changes throughout both the autonomic and the physical, as well as intensity changes. And lastly, we were looking at the overall area. What our findings are indicating is that the coherence of the water increased throughout the body. The entropy decreased for the physical system, which means it became much more coherent, while the autonomic system increased. We found the average intensity increased throughout the entire body. These are not just particular organ systems, it's the entire body's measurement systems across all 5 became significant.
In 25 minutes?
In 25 minutes. Yeah, it had tremendous effect. So we were delighted by the outcomes for it, and
this is all a surprise to me because I'm like, I live in, you know what I mean? She's like, at first she's like, I gotta come over and talk to you guys, talk to you about your pyramids, and I was like, oh no, what happened? But then she's like, they're rad, and I was like, oh, I use them all the time to keep away the boogie weird frequencies, but to understand, on a molecular level and through the science that you've done, it's awesome.
It really is cool. So
I know. Then she was like, let's make it even faster. Yeah. Let's get it in 25 minutes. So, I thought to myself when I first, back to a little bit of the background, these devices and actually how I learned how to make orgonite myself personally. Many of you guys know me, but my higher self taught me, and I did that for my team that traveled around the planet. We made grids to actually grid foreign locations, and after we were cleaning up battlefields and stuff, and my higher self, one of my Syrian, he actually taught me how to crush the stones, a pinch of this, a pinch of that, a pinch of this, mix it. And I was explaining to you earlier, I was on full-blown autopilot, and I know that many of you guys who are creators out there, when you really start, you can be a musician, playing a song, and all of a sudden the song just kind of comes through and you start riffing or playing it, or you're a sound creator or a writer. That kind of happened to me with my higher self. So to put it into a pyramid and actually understand the alchemy now 10 years later, I'm really excited about the results.
You should be.
That you came through, and I was like, be honest, like rip me, like what do I need to? We're talking about. Let's talk about kicking it up a notch. Okay, let's casually talk about Mr. Rife, and talk about that technology, and specifically why Mr. Rife and that technology is so awesome and what he developed.
Well, Rife was able to develop specific frequencies that would ablate. It's almost like homeopathic, so similar to similar. So if you can apply a frequency to the body, you can take the issue that is represented by that frequency out of the body. And it's just like a medicine. So if you apply it, you're treating the body and you're assisting it without having to take anything internally. There's no side effects, none of that. If there's no resonance, there's no effect. But if you apply the Rife, and he had hundreds of different frequencies to treat cancer, to treat different disease states, candida, as you were mentioning earlier, we were talking about different disease states.
So for our commercial function,
Yeah,
it allows the human body to heal itself.
that's right.
All you moderators out there, it allows the human body the ability to heal itself. Here we go. For all my homies out there, you know what's up. Yeah, Rife's legit, and look into it. All my fellow Tartarian homies out there, what happens when you run certain frequencies through a Rife generator and amplify it through a building for a whole city? I wonder what happens. Think big, ladies and gentlemen. Think large things. We have a lot of healing and restructuring to do on this planet. I'll take the lead here with some of my things I'd like to say really quick, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Dr.